This is the Pantanal, the world's largest tropical wetland. This is home to many iconic species, from hosting approximately 10 million caimans to the biggest parrot on the planet, the hyacinth macaw. But I am here in search of the largest cat in the Americas, the iconic jaguar. I'm about to head out on safari. I've got a whole week here in the Pantanal, led by expert guide Enrique Olsen, who's going to be taking me in search of the jaguars.
Nowadays I'm using photography as a conservation here in the area, helping the scientists and the Jaguar Identification Project to identify jaguars and learn about their behavior and their environmental. Let's see what's going to be the next week with Roxy. Probably will have many jaguars and wildlife to show you.
This is one of the best places to see jaguars in the dry season because the land is so devoid of water, meaning that the jaguars have to come here to drink, cool off and hunt. So being on a boat puts us in the prime position for sightings. But as a filmmaker, it also makes things really challenging because obviously I'm never on a stable surface for filming, so it's really tough to be able to get smooth shots. But thankfully, boat driver Cesar is an expert at getting us in the best positions to film.
Então, a gente está aqui trabalhando há anos, né, e a gente já tem um pouquinho de conhecimento de como posicionar o barco, né, sempre olhando sempre a luz, né, melhor, a posição melhor, que fica sempre na posição boa, porque o fotógrafo pode fotografar, tirar suas fotos da melhor maneira possível, né. Então, é uma coisa assim que a gente luta bastante para melhorar cada dia mais, para sempre estar fazendo o pessoal ter sucesso em seus cliques. Bom, na época eu trabalhei em garimpo, aí depois vim para o Pantanal, trabalhei como guia de pesca, né, por quase 20 anos, né, e depois saí da pesca e fui trabalhar de piloteiro, né, de turismo ecológico.
The morning light's really nice for filming, so I'm hoping we'll find some jaguars pretty quickly. But Enrique spotted another one of the Pantanal's star attractions on the way, so it's time to put our boat filming to the test. We just found a family of giant otters, and the mum is feeding and the babies are in the bush calling to her, waiting for their food. And she keeps going back and forth between them, so it's pretty cool to see. It's so special to be able to have an encounter like this with such an endangered species. After being hunted extensively and suffering from a loss of habitat, their numbers plummeted. So to see this family thriving like this is a real treat. After leaving the otters to their day, it's back to the main search. And it's not long before I find out why the Pantanal is so famous for its jaguar sightings. I was amazed by the number of jaguars we encountered here. It felt almost surreal. Some of the jaguars lounged high in the trees, their powerful forms perched with a surprising elegance, although admittedly some were more graceful than others. Others prowled along the water's edge, their movements always feeling very purposeful and captivating. But the moments I loved the most were when they ventured into the water itself. I love photographing the details of the water droplets falling off their fur. And although jaguars are primarily solitary, finding a mother with a cub is a special opportunity to see them interact and play. This is one of the most famous females in the area, Madrosa, with her cub Pantanal.
They usually stay around 1.5 years and 2 years, the mom and the cub. And usually when it's a female cub, the cub stay around in the same area, and when it's the male, they just breed. Here in the area, the jaguars are thriving, so the population are increasing, which is very good. And for us that work as a guide here, it's such a pleasure to see a cub and the mom together in the wild. So we are very happy with this sighting.
You can really see how vital this river system is to supporting their lives here. Especially when a hungry jaguar decides it's time to hunt. Throughout the week, we were lucky enough to see a few attempted hunts. The first close call we saw was an individual, Ashum, trying to catch a meal for her 2 cubs. Initially, her youngest cub decided to join in to help her hunt, but he was blowing their cover, tripping up on the branches, so she decided to leave him behind and carry on her own. Her first target was a tapir, which my guide said they'd never seen a successful hunt of before, but they managed to swim across to the other side of the river before she could get close. Then she managed to approach 2 unsuspecting capybara from behind. But again, she wasn't fast enough, and she wasn't in luck. Then we found Patricia, who is known for being a stellar hunter. This one is really active. She's looking like she's gonna hunt. Plus, she has added motivation to succeed, as she has a young cub, Mikala, to take care of. We followed her for over 40 minutes as she stalked the edge of the riverbank, sometimes even making an attempt to pounce on a caiman. After a few failed attempts, she finally found her target, a family of capybara on the water's edge. We anchored the boat in position and waited for nearly an hour as she edged closer and closer. Until finally making her move. Unfortunately for this family of capybara, Patricia caught the father, but they quickly reunited with their mother, and now Patricia can feed her cub. Today, I'm heading out with Enrique to learn more about the work that he does for the Jaguar Identification Project, so that I can learn more about what they're doing to help protect this iconic species.
Now we are here with one individual right in front of us. I took some pictures to identify this individual. So usually I identify the individuals first by the area where I'm looking, and after I look to the spots in their face and also in their body. So I go through these individuals in the identification book that we have here to try to discover which individual is. I think it can be Tingana or Chiavera. They are sisters and same age, around 2 years old, and they live in this area. So for sure is Tingana, one female. She's cub of T. Another female that lives in this area.
This identification project is a great way of helping scientists gather data about the jaguars living in this area to learn more about this species and what can be done to help protect them.
Jaguars exist in 18 different countries, all the way from Mexico down to Argentina. And most of anywhere that they do exist, they're impossible to see. There's just a big gray spot when you talk about jaguar ecology. Like, we know we know how they move, we've put radio collars on them, but we've never had an opportunity to observe them day to day, like in Africa when you see lions. At least in this area, the project is allowing us to understand better the day-to-day life of jaguars.
This conservation work is really important because unfortunately this precious biome is under threat. Only 5% of the Pantanal is protected and the rest is used for private land and agriculture and is being destroyed at a rapid rate.
We know that probably at the end of this century we will have more water in this area and in the Pantanal. I love jaguars, and not only jaguars. Jaguars is just, a part of this. We have many wildlife, beautiful areas, and it's just growing.
It was truly a privilege to be able to spend a week in this incredible biome with Enrique, learning about all the amazing animals that call this place home. Through this video, I hope to have inspired others to join in protecting the Pantanal, ensuring its beauty and wildlife can be cherished by many future generations.
I think all the Brazilians want the Pantanal alive, and all the world should come here and see how beautiful and how we can learn for this place. So we should protect this place and keep the Pantanal alive, because there is no other place like here.